President Donald Trump quickly took to Twitter to announce a transgender ban in the military. Now, reports tie this ban to the southern border wall, and we've uncovered how Trump has turned this into a mega win down south. Hollywood celebrities and liberal loons continue to freak out, as patriots are cheering about how Trump fooled them all. Why the snap decision to ban transgenders in the military? Because it threatened our national security, and it threatened the funding for the border wall. Everything in Washington, D.C., is a quid pro quo, and this was too, with the president having to make an immediate decisive decision between transgenders in the military and our border wall. The southern border wall won. House Republicans were planning to pass a spending bill stacked with his campaign promises, including money to build his border wall with Mexico. But an internal House Republican fight over transgender troops was threatening to blow up the bill. And House GOP insiders feared they might not have the votes to pass the legislation because defense hawks wanted a ban on Pentagon-funded sex reassignment operations, something GOP leaders wouldn't give them, reported Politico. They turned to Trump, and with a series of tweets, he blew up the fight between the House Republicans, in a mic drop moment. Reports are coming in that the bill wasn't just about the southern border wall but included funding for a lot of Trump's promised agenda. His promises to the American people came first, and of course, the Hollywood liberal elites are having an epic meltdown. Transgenders in the military make up approximately 0.5%. If you're a conservative, you'll agree that no one's rights are being stomped on by this ban. If you are overweight, you can't make it into the military or a police academy. Are fat people's rights being trampled on? Certain career paths require certain physical and intellectual requirements. Even if the argument that they were born with the wrong genitals is true, then they have the same limitations that anyone has who can't meet the requirements. There are several members of the conference who feel this really needs to be addressed, said senior House Appropriations Committee member Robert Aderholt, Republican Alabama, on Tuesday. This isn't about the transgender issue. It's about the taxpayer dollars going to pay for the surgery out of the defense budget. So, it comes down to money and our tax dollars, and it's hard not to agree that, with a humongous debt looming, Americans have paid for enough. On social media, Rosie O'Donnell and other nut jobs are having a field day with the viral hashtag trans rights are human rights. Rosie morphed herself on Twitter in her desperation. While Trump supporters are quick to point out that transgenders were banned 7.5 years out of Obama's 8 years in office, the bleeding heart liberals fire back that Trump is mean because he called transgender people a burden. Well, that's not entirely correct. He called the cost for their surgeries and care a burden. Is that not true? How about paying for any complicated medical procedure? It's a burden, plain and simple. Trump promised those who elected him certain things. One of those big items was a southern border wall. As president, he is finding out how hard it is to have to negotiate with the swamp creatures, but as a master at the art of the deal, he knows when to fold and he knows when to hold. What appears to be a decision made in haste is not. It's been talked about for months, and he had to act now. This is called leadership. It's making the tough calls for the good of your people and accepting the consequences. This is exactly why he was elected and why mature adults appreciate how tough it can be to make America great again. It's not just a slogan anymore. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.